Hi everyone, it is time for today's Monday's maths. And we are starting off today with a little bit of a flashback. Quite like the flashback today because it's to do with some things that we were looking at last week. So I'm going to read out the questions for you first, and then you can have a go at them. So number one, what is 25 multiplied by 6? 25 multiplied by 6. So in that one, you have to multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. We were looking at that last week. Something else we were looking at last week. What is 12 divided by 2? 12 divided by 2. Number 3, work out 6 times 100. And number 4, add together 800 and 120. And of course, there is a clock as well. Tell me what time the clock says. Look carefully. Okay, so have a go at those on whiteboards, paper, in your books, however you're doing it. Pause the video now and have a go. All right, so hopefully you've had a good go at those. I think they're all very doable if you remember how we did things last week. Look at quite shadowy today, aren't we? Look at that. Anyway, so number one, I'm just going to go through the answers for you now. So the first question, if you can get it working, which it's not at the moment, hang on, there we go. What is 25 multiplied by 6? It was 150. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Next one should be easy enough. Work out 6 times 100. It's 600. And then add together 800 and 120. It is, of course, 920. And the time on the clock is 10 minutes to 6. 10 to 6. If you put 5:50, you can have that as well. But 10 to 6. Will do for me. So they are the flashbacks. I'm going to stop sharing that one, and I'm going to start sharing this one. So this is what we're actually doing today. We are going to be carrying on with what we were doing at the end of last week. We were dividing a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. So that is our job for today. I'm going to start off with a couple of little problems to try and get our brains going again. So we've got Teddy. Teddy's answering a question, 44 divided by 4, and he's got some place value counters to do it. So he's done that there. He's organized things. Is he correct though? So what he's got a tens column, and he's got a ones column, and he's got 20 there and 2 there, it looks like. 20 there and 2 there. Is he correct? You have to explain. So he's doing 44 divided by 4. That's his working out. Is he correct? Pause the video and have a go. All right, so Teddy was working out 44 divided by 4. He's got his place value counters in a little chart, tens and ones, and he's got 2 tens, 20, 2 ones there, so he's got 22, and he's got another 22. You had to tell me if he was correct. He isn't. The reason why he's not correct is he hasn't. Whoa, that's the next one. Little sneak peek there. So he's not correct because what he's only done 2 rows. So that means he's only divided his 44 by 2. He didn't need to do that. He needed to do it by 4. What there should be are another row underneath and then another row underneath that. That way, he would have shared equally and divided by 4 instead of 2. The answer he should have got was 11. He should have got 11 for 44 divided by 4. So he's messed up there. He's not divided by the right amount. And he's not shared his place value counters equally between 4. That was the problem for Teddy. Oh, Teddy. Next up, we've got Alex. Alex has got some place value counters as well, and she's doing 63 divided by 3. So let's just check she's got the right amount of counters. She's got 6 tens. She's got 3 ones. So she's got 63. Good start. And now she's put hers in a little chart as well. She gets an answer of 12. Okay, so she's got 110 in each of her 3. Let's check that first. Has she divided it by 3? 1, 2, 3. She's done 3 rows, so she's done that right. She gets an answer of 12 though. Is she correct? Have a little think, have a little look, maybe do some working out yourself. Pause the video and I'll come back and tell you the answer. Okay, so Alex is doing 63 divided by 3. She set it out in this place value chart here with her counters. Is she correct when she gets an answer of 12? The answer is no, she is not correct at all. The thing that she's done wrong, she's put a 10 counter in the ones column. What is she playing at? I can't believe it. So basically those 3 10s there should be over here. And her answer should be 21. She should have 2 counters in the 10s column, 1 in the 1s column, and she should have 3 lots of it, and it should be 21. 63 divided by 3 is 21. Make sure you put things in the right column, Alex. Ugh. Right, okay, so moving on to some PowerMass style stuff. Here we go. I like this one because I like the picture. I think the picture's a really nice picture. I'd love to be on a sunset with loads of lanterns in a little boat. That'd be miles better than being in lockdown in my house. So I really like the picture. Let's see what the maths is asking us though. So how many lanterns were released by the boats? Represent the lanterns using base 10 equipment. Okay, so sometimes when this happens, I think it was sheep last week, I said, oh, there's too many to count now, I'll just tell you how many sheep there were. I'm not going to do that today. You need to tell me how many lanterns there are, and then you need to show me them using some base 10 equipment. That is 1A. I'm going to do that one first. You're going to do it. I'm going to show you the answers, and then we're going to come back and do 1B. So have a go at that. 1A, how many lanterns were released? And you need to do it. You need to show me it with base 10 equipment. If you want to draw it, that's fine. You know how to do that. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at that now. All right, so we need to find out how many lanterns there are. It's really nice. It's a sunset. They've lit off some lanterns from their boats that are floating on the water. How lovely. How many did they do though? They did 42 lanterns. Hopefully you counted them carefully. 42 lanterns were released by the boats. And then we've got a little part hole model here. 42 has been split up to 40 and to 2. And then it says, the guy's telling us here, and they've drawn it down here, 4 10s. There's our 4 10s and 2 1s as well. Hopefully you were able to either draw them or show that using base 10 in some way. So 42, 4 10s and 2 1s. We're going to go back now to have a look at 1B. So 1B says the same number of lanterns were released by each boat. How many lanterns were released by each boat? Okay, so remember you've got 42 lanterns altogether, and you need to say how many were released by each boat. Now, you need to be careful here because when I was looking at this before I did start the video, 1 boat, obviously, 2 boats, I thought, oh, that's probably it. That's a boat. You're probably saying, well, of course it's a boat. But there's 3 boats, okay? So 42 lanterns, 3 boats, the same amount of lanterns were released by each boat. So you need to think, what kind of problem is it? And then you need to think about how you're going to do it. I'm not going to tell you how. I'm going to show you how to do it after you've had a go. So have a go at that. Pause the video now. All right, so we're going to have a look at the next little problem, 1B. There's 42 lanterns that have been released by 3 boats. Let's have a little look. So here we go. This is how you do it. This is quite tricky. And the reason why this is tricky is because when you look at 42, you can't divide 2 by 3. It doesn't really work. So you need to split the 42 up into a different way. So before we had a 40 and we had a 2. We need to do it differently this time. The guy's telling us why here. He says, I tried to share the 10s first and they didn't share equally. He had a 10 left over. So he tried sharing 40 equally between the 3 boats and he couldn't do it because it doesn't work. 40 is not in the 3 times table. So he did this instead. He exchanged a 10 for 10 ones. Okay, so he changed one of his 10s. He had 4 10s. He changed one of them to ones instead. So that gave him more ones. So when he did that, he had this. He had 3 10s left, 30. And how many ones did he have? Well, he had 2 with 10 extras. So he's now got 12. That's what he's done. I'm going to say it one more time. He exchanged one of his 10s over here. Let me show you on the other screen. He exchanged one of these 10s for 10 ones. Okay? And if you do that, you are left with 30. Go back again. 30 over here. And you've now got 12 ones. And if you do it as a part whole, 30 and 12 make 42. And what's really good about this is 30 can be shared equally between 3, and so can 12. So let's have a little look. So he's got 3 10s divided by 3 equals 1 10. So 30 divided by 3 is 10. And then over here, we've got 12 ones. 12 ones divided by 3 is 4. 4 ones, 12 divided by 3 is 4. And then, because we've got 2 answers, we've got our 10s answer, we've got our 1s answer, you need to add them up. So we had 10 over here, we've got 4 over here. There it is, this is down there, I couldn't see it. 10 add 4 equals 14. That is the answer. So 42 divided by 3 equals 14. Basically, what you've got to remember is you need to partition it, you need to break it up into a different way so that you can divide them by 3. I know, because I'm good at my 3 times tables, I know 30 is in the 3 times table, so I'll be able to divide it. And I know 12 is in the 3 times table, so I'll be able to divide that by 3 as well. And then, as a little extra to check I've done it right, 30 add 12 should make that number, and it does. It makes 42. That is quite complicated. I get that. If some people are struggling a little bit, do not worry. I'm going to have a go at a few more. Whenever you do something for the first time, it's a little bit tricky. So do not worry if you're thinking, oh, what is he talking about? We'll do a few practices. In a bit, you're going to have a go at your PowerMass book. And by this time next week, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I know how to do that. True? Okay, here we go. So, a few more for you to have a go at on your whiteboards or in your books, however you want to do it. There are 36 people waiting to get on 2 buses. The same number of people get on each bus. How many people get on each bus? So, what we're doing here is another divide, obviously, because we're sharing out the number of people on the bus. We've got 36. And we want to divide it by 2. So what we've got is we've got 30 and 6 for our 36. There it is. They've shown us that. But another way you can do it is like this. You can do 36 and you can put 20 and 16. All right, 20 and 16. What they've done is they've exchanged a 10 for 10 ones. So instead of having 30, they've now got 20. And instead of having 6, they've now got 16. And then there's some calculations down here. This is the bit you need to think about. 2 10s divided by 2 equals how many 10s? What's the answer? Work it out there. Okay. So you need to try and fill these out. We've got 16 divided by 2. Put the answer in. 16 divided by 2. Put the answer in. Then you need to add up your 2 answers, and that'll be your final answer. They put it in a bit of a weird shape there. Do the 10s bit there, the 1s bit there, add your 2 answers together, and then put the final answer in that box. That's what you've got to do for that first bit. For 2, you need to use the part whole models to help you. So they've started it off. You've got 65 here. You need to think about what's going to go in the missing one. 50, what's going to go in there? And then you need to do some divisions. 75 and 50, what's going to go in there? Do some divisions. And the same for this one. Look here, they are dividing by 5 this time. Okay, so read it very carefully. Have a go at filling in the part holes and then doing some divisions underneath. Do 1 first, obviously, then 2. I'll come back and tell you the answers. Pause the video now. All right, so we're going to talk you through these one at a time. We had 36 people waiting to go on 2 buses, so it was 36 divided by 2. They've split it up into a 20 and a 16 though. So 2 10s divided by 2 is 1 10. We know that. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Then we've got our ones over here. 16 ones divided by 2 is 8 ones. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So we've got 10 and we've got 8. So 10 add 8 equals 18. 36 divided by 2 is 18. Well done if you got that. Down here for number 2, you had to fill in the part whole models first. So we've got 65 and then we've got 50 and then that should be 15. Remember, we're dividing by 5 this time. So 65, we've got 50 and 15. Let's do our 10s first. We've got 50 divided by 5. Well, that's 10. We've got 15 divided by 5. So that should be 3. 10 add 3 is 13. You should have got 13 for that one. Next up, we've got 75. And they've put 50 in this one. So you need to think, well, what's left? 25 is left. So that needs to go in there. Then you do 50 divided by 5 first, which is 10. Then you need 25 divided by 5, which is 5. 10 add 5, 15. So 75 divided by 5 is 15. Last up, we've got 85 divided by 5. They put 50 in there again. Why do you think they've put 50 in there again? It's because we're all pretty good at our 5s, and we know 50 divided by 5 is 10, isn't it? So each time they've put that one because it's a good start for us. It's an easy start. So if we've got 50 in there, what's left? 35. So 35 goes in that one. Then 50 divided by 5 is 10. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 10 add 7 is 17. So 85 divided by 5 is 17. Okay, hopefully you've been able to have a go at that one. If this is a bit tricky, the key thing to do is just do it one step at a time. It might take a little bit longer, but it'll get it all fresh in your mind. It'll be a good way of working through it. Okay, so part whole model first, then some division, and then you'll get your answer at the end. What have we got? We've got the challenge. If this is too tricky, do not worry. Have a look. Have a go, and don't worry if you're not sure. It's a challenge. So we've got Rena and Andy. Whoa, hang on. We've got Rena and We've got Rena and Andy, and they're working out 75 divided by 3. So Rena's saying, I partition 75 into 3 parts. Okay. Andy's saying, I partition 75 into 2 parts. Okay. And then for A, it says, what could the parts have been to help work out 75 divided by 3? So first bit, you need to put in what you think Rena might have put in her 3 parts. 1, 2, and 3. And Andy, what could he have put into his 2 parts? Remember, this time we're going to be dividing by 3. So you need to put in numbers that are in the 3 times table. Have a think. All right, have a go at that. Oh, pause the video. All right, so it says, what could the parts have been? So you might have got some different answers. So I'll talk you through what you might have done, what you could have done for this. So for 75, what you could have done is you needed 3 parts, obviously, to begin with. So what you could have done is you could have done a 3 in this one. That leaves us 72. You could have put a 12 in this one, which leaves us 60 for this one. 60, add 12, add 3, makes 75. And if you check, all those 3 numbers are in the 3 times table, so it will work. For this one, he's only done he's only done 2 parts. So for this one, it's got to be 3s again. So you need to think, right, what might he have used for his 2 parts this time? So if it was me, I would have put 15 in this one, because I know 15's in the 3 times table, and then that leaves 60. 60 add 15 makes 75, and 60 and 15 I can work out with the 3s as well. Okay, so that's what I did. If you did something different and it still works, that's fine. Okay, so down here, we've got the girl saying, I think Rena might have used 3 parts the same size. Okay, I remember that 3 times 20 equals 60. Okay, so that's what I used. I used 60. I wonder if this helps. It did. It helped me. And then one last little question. Explain why this part whole model does not help you work out 75 divided by 3. So we've got 75. It's just split up into 2, 70 and 5. Have a little think. You can pause the video. Why doesn't that help you work out 75 divided by 3? Why are they not good numbers to put in there? All right, so this is similar to that one. It's the same, it's 75, and they put 70 and 5 in. They are not good numbers to pick. I didn't pick those numbers before. The reason why is because of this number 5. I know that 5 isn't in the 3 times table, so I'm not going to be able to divide 5 by 3. It's not going to help at all. I need a number in there that I know divides by 3, and also for this one as well. All right, that's why it's not quite good enough. Okay, so we're going to have a go. Do not worry if it's a bit tricky. Take your time, have a go at the PowerMass book. Do not worry too much about the challenge today, but have a good go at 30 and 31 and the reflect question as well. It is tricky, it's something new, but like I was saying earlier, if you do it one bit at a time, part whole, the divisions, adding the answers together, things like that, you hopefully will be able to have a good go at it. That's it for today's maths. Let me know how you get on. Send me any work, obviously, and I'll give you some dojos if you do. All right, I will see you all later.